Counsel is the practice of listening from the heart, and it's the practice of speaking your truth. Counsel is a container that we create to connect to one another authentically.
I realized that I was more of an introvert, didn't really speak out. I was a real shy kid growing up.
When I came out, I realized, well, if I could start a family, if I can help my nephews and nieces, that's what I was there for. So now I have my little baby girl, she's 1 year old, and she's just a beauty. And I get all mushy, and I realized that I was merely existing in prison. With my anger, I was existing, not seeing all the true colors of life. And that's really what Center for Counsel has done for me. It helped me feel more human.
People who are in prison, who go home without helping themselves or without fixing the issues that brought them to prison, are going to repeat that cycle, and then they're going to hurt innocent people again. I had a lot of false strength. I thought being tough or macho or whatever was the answer in prison, but realistically, to be someone who can fit in society, you have to be able to understand what people feel.
I knew that I had the life sentence, but to me, I would not accept that was going to be my final outcome. I had dreams when I was in prison thinking about what you can achieve. I've been home a year and I've already exceeded all of them. And that's not to boast, that's just to simply say that I limited what I could actually achieve based on what I thought was actual possible. I truly feel like I excel at my job because of counsel. I can empathize, I can understand, I can speak from the heart with my experience. I just feel like without this class I would not be nearly as effective with my work.
The intention of the group is to build skills of communication, listening and speaking from the heart. The intention is to teach you to both practice and also to share these skills with others, both inside the circle and also outside in your life. We call this group Counsel for Insight, Compassion, and Resilience.
Every time I go to counsel, I tear a piece of my trauma, my experience, my pain, and I put it in the middle of that circle. And I allow each one of the men inside that circle to go ahead and take a piece of it from me. Because it's much easier for someone else to carry your trauma than for you to carry it.
Everyone here is criminal, so you isolate yourself, you put up your walls. A lot of the time it's just to be away from negativity, not to get involved with things. Other times it's because people are different. And I think coming to this has helped me realize that we're more alike than different.
I've been in prison for 25 years, and I've never communicated with people outside of the gang that I was in. So I'm able to communicate with people who are from all walks of life. Counsel helps you learn to discover that true you, someone who's loving, someone who's caring, compassionate. That's what the human spirit is, and that's what I believe counsel has helped me bring out, who I really am as a human being.
In counsel, everybody's on the same level and everybody gets a turn. You use a talking piece and the agreement is not to interrupt. So you come to trust you're going to get your turn and you can relax and listen better. I will say that the more you lean into this, the more it will meet you, and what you learn here will serve you in your life.
The first time I showed up to a council was an interesting experience. This one was different in that you can't be in this group if you're not willing to participate. That's what I like about it, because for me, true growth comes from other people's communication.
Counsel is not a religion or a cult. Everybody's beliefs are their own, and no belief is more acceptable or better than any other in counsel. Counsel is not about convincing or fixing or making speeches. Counsel is not therapy. It's therapeutic, but nobody is there to be the expert and nobody is there to tell you about you.
I thought it was going to be like any other group. You go, you participate, and somebody speaks to you, teaches you a curriculum. But in Center for Counsel, it's different because you're engaged from the beginning. It's fun to go and look forward to just expressing and hearing people talk about their lives and see the world from their point of view.
It's a circle, so everyone's equal. That's the one thing that really resonated with me, especially in a prison environment. Not to have someone that's either trying to facilitate, run it, it runs itself.
Growing up, being in an abusive home, it's been able to allow me to get some of that stuff out, and it's really been a therapeutic thing for me. it actually got me to communicate. It actually helped me open up more. It actually helped me learn how to empathize with other people.
Because you're being spontaneous and you're speaking what you think, it's a lot of things I discovered while I was sharing, things that I didn't know I felt. That's really given me more of a depth of my insight and why I did certain things and why I need to change.
If you listen to everyone around you, you realize that that person has gone through the same thing you have. And by listening to that person, you're able to gain some insight into yourself because you're seeing a situation from a different perspective.
Being in a room with 12 people that you never would think you would share your deepest, darkest secrets, even with your partner or your family, you wouldn't share it, but you're willing to share it here. That speaks volumes to what this program does.
I always thought people were different than me, that I was unique in the world, that nobody was like me. As Center for Counsel has showed me different. It showed me that we're all very much alike.
A lot of the topics, they get real deep, and because it's a threshold and it's the same people and there's some sort of trust with each other, I think I was able to share deeper stuff that I wouldn't necessarily share in another group.
If you choose to go on this journey of knowing yourself better and developing some skillfulness in determining who you will become, who you really want to be in the world, the process is going to push you, and it's also going to support you.
Reflecting on how I viewed things made me recognize that I wasn't seeing people for what they were. I was only thinking about me. I recognize where I'm lacking as a human, and so let's change that.
Everybody needs this work, and the world needs more compassion. So we've adapted the program into some pretty surprising places. We actually work with adults and children, teachers and doctors, business people, and frontline workers, with community activists, and with police officers. When families interact with loved ones who have learned counsel, they can really sense a shift. It feels like a space opens up for healing.
I got a lot of mending I need to do with my family, and I feel like just being able to listen and to express myself has helped me connect with them and talk and say how I feel and listen to them, and moreover just have better relationships with them.
Listening from the heart has really been good for me. Anytime I would talk to my wife, she would always tell me, hey, I want to tell you about what happened at work, and she would start talking. And the minute she would tell me she's having a problem with somebody at work, I would cut her short, and I'd be like, this is how you fix that, And I've learned to just she's not asking me for any fix up or how do I fix this, please tell me. She's not saying that. She's just saying, hey, I want you to listen to me. And so I would say that I learned to just do that. Unless she asks me for anything, then I listen, and I support.
I've actually had members of my family, they recognized something that changed. They made that comment. He says, man, you've changed. What's going on? And it's hard to explain to them the impact that the feeling of community has on somebody like me.
I would say that if counsel was ever presented to you or ever offered, that you should definitely get in the group. It's been a healing experience for me, and I think that if more prisons had counsel in it, that it would benefit in terms of the attitude on the yard and influences on the streets. There's a lightness that you get about yourself and an aura you get about you that's different, and everybody come out of counsel, they're smiling, and I really believe that if more people got involved in counsel, they would have some of the similar experiences that I've had and other guys have had.
If you have a Center for Counsel, it'll help you to come out of your shell, to be able to interact with others and feel comfortable in talking to them instead of just being comfortable and not opening up maybe a new book, a new life that you can find joy in.
Pay attention to what happens in the circle. Trust that the experiences in here have something to teach you, and lean into the insight and the opportunity to understand yourself and the world around you better.
If you're a lifer like I was, it can potentially help you with your social skills. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always hope. There's nothing that you can lose by going to these councils. All you can gain is a better understanding of yourself, if not some brightness in your life. Give Center for Counsel a chance.
Just trust the process. It's going to be unusual. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone, but trust the process And before you realize it, you're gonna look back and say, wow, I changed. I'm different today. And you're gonna feel better about yourself.